Hello everyone, my name is Sam Lotfollahi and I'm an Australian registered migration agent with 15 years of experience. In today's episode, we'll be diving into one of the most important visa pathways for couples wanting to live in Australia, the Subclass 820 and 801 partner visa. Now, whether you're currently living in Australia or planning to stay with your loved one, this visa is a key step in securing your future together. We'll be breaking down everything you need to know about this two-step process, starting with the temporary Subclass 820 visa and transitioning it to the permanent Subclass 801. We'll also guide you through eligibility requirements, the documents you need, and the best practices for a smooth application. Okay. Let's have a look at the Subclass 820 overview. First up, you have to be in a genuine relationship with your spouse, de facto partner, who is an Australian citizen, a permanent resident, or an eligible New Zealand citizen. Both the applicant and the sponsor have to be at least 18 years of age to apply for this visa. The visa fees, quite expensive. $9,095 for the main applicant at the time of preparing this webinar, and then $4,500 if you have a dependent over age of 18, and 2,280 Australian dollars for each dependent under the age of 18. When you apply for this visa, obviously you have to be in Australia. The processing times for this visa is getting longer and longer by the day. Unfortunately, at the time of preparing this webinar, 50% of the visas are processed within 12 months and 90% processed within 26 months. So what will make you eligible for Subclass 820? No prior visa cancellations or refusals. Now, if you've had a tourist visa refused, that's a different story. You have to meet some health requirements. You and your partner have to meet character requirements and have no debt to the Australian government. Now, Subclass 820 entitlements. So what entitlements do you get? Once the bridging visa comes in, you can live, work and study full-time. You can travel to and from Australia as many times whilst the visa is valid, obviously. You can attend free English classes if eligible, and you get access to Australian Medicare, which is the Australian's public health care scheme. The person that is sponsoring this visa has to meet some criteria and also has got some obligation. So first, the sponsor has to assist partner and any included family members financially and with accommodation. The sponsorship ends 2 years after temporary partner visa is granted, even if they receive a permanent visa before that time. And you cannot withdraw your sponsorship after the visa is granted, okay? But you can withdraw before Subclass 100 is decided. Obviously, you have to always notify the department if any changes in your contact details or relationship status happens. So as we said earlier, this is a two-stage visa, and the second stage of this partner visa is Subclass 801, which we'll have a look at the overview of this visa. You have to continue to be in a genuine relationship with your spouse or de facto partner. When you want to apply for Subclass 801, you have to hold a valid visa, which is a Subclass 820 or a dependent child visa. There are no visa fees as you've already paid for both visas at the time of lodging the 820-801 visa. When the visa is granted, you can be inside or outside Australia. However, if you're outside Australia, you must enter Australia before the first entry arrival date that is mentioned in your visa. The processing time for this will be 2 years after you've applied for both the combined partner visas, unless you've been in a long-term relationship and some other criteria are met and you're granted a double grant partner visa. Once you're granted the 801 visa, these are some of the entitlements that comes with it. First, you can live, work, and study full-time anywhere in Australia. You become a permanent resident on the day that the visa is granted and you can stay permanently in Australia. You can attend free English classes. You can apply for access to Australia's public healthcare scheme, which is called Medicare. When eligible, you can apply to become an Australian citizen. And once you're granted this visa, you can sponsor eligible family members to come to Australia and join you. Some frequently asked questions. How long after getting the Subclass 820 can I apply for the 801? Well, Subclass 801 eligibility is assessed automatically 2 years after Subclass 820 application. So basically, you gotta wait for 2 years and then you can apply for the Subclass 801. Can I get a Subclass 801 even if my relationship ends before approval? You are still eligible for Subclass 801 if relationship ends with specific circumstances proven, like family violence or similar matters. Can I apply for a Subclass 820 if not living with my partner? Yes, you can still apply for the 820 visa if your relationship is genuine despite living apart. The services that we provide and the processing that we go through for every client. So first, we do a 1-hour phone consultation and we'll make sure that we have all the details that are required. We'll go through all the eligibility criteria to make sure that you are eligible for the visa that you want to apply for. We'll provide you with a comprehensive checklist to make sure that you gather all the documents. We will fill out all the required forms based on the information that you have provided to us. We will regularly follow up with case officer and as required to make sure your case is up to date. And we'll make sure to keep you up to date with all information until the visa is granted. Thank you very much for your time listening to this webinar. We know that you might still have a lot more questions, so please make sure to send us your questions anytime.